Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez and
Kataleya Davenport.
ladies and gentlemen, we are here. I just got ready with Kataleya for Get Made Up with Misty. And if you want to see how to do these looks sickening, just keep watching. We had a kiki and actually we kind of spilled some tea. No names, no shade seriously thrown, but we did kind of talk about some people. I sat down, I told her, I said, girl, this is the love video. We don't talk about, it's not a throwing shade video. That's not what I do. But we kind of talked about some people a little bit. Much more than I expected.
On general topics.
Yeah, just for examples of stuff. We were nice though.
We were.
We're not evil people.
We were cordial.
We're nice. She's wearing my eyelashes. Do you like them? She forgot her.
I have the misty eyes.
Anyways, this is Kataleya Davenport. She is a regular both at Village Pub where I work on Mondays and Trinity House on Sundays. So I know you're going to like this video. Alright, so tonight we're getting ready for Drag-A-Side at Village Pub on Mondays, which Kataleya has won many, many times.
With the help of my supporters.
The people that cheer for you.
Yeah.
And that's it. You are well liked, I think.
Yeah, I can say, I'll say, I guess it's because of how humble and approachable I am. Because you know,
I laugh, but she's actually right.
Because I don't know, it's like a lot of people are ready to, as soon as after the show is done, they be like, yeah, I won, okay, whatever, and then they leave. And I'll be like one of those people that'll stay behind, be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for voting for me, people.
Yeah, because a lot of them be like, I didn't even know who you were. And I'll be like, oh, well, nice meeting you. And then next week I'll see them, they're like, you're competing? No, I'm not competing. I'm a special guest this week.
Right, I won last week, silly. Alright, so I just put a piece of white paper in the video because with her dark skin and my light skin, the camera washes me completely out and it's annoying that I'm like Casper. So hopefully the camera will focus and have a balance.
Yeah.
We'll try that. It's like a redneck. I'm hillbilly. We'll see if it works. Whatever. But yeah, so you're very humble.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. No, I agree with you. I laughed because it's when people say, I don't believe I'm pretty, but I am so pretty.
Mm.
And I'm like, really? But I do agree with you. I think you're very humble.
Yeah, I read, because it's like a lot of compliments that people may give me. I'll think the opposite, and then they'll look at me and be like, you really didn't think that you were that pretty? And I'll be like, I think I'm okay. I don't think I'm the best person in the world.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm actually, people are surprised when they find out how insecure I actually am. You know, but I think that you have to learn every day. You're like, we went to Moe's for dinner. When you were talking about one of our friends who gets very upset when she doesn't win shows.
Truth.
And one time she was upset and she's like, I've won so many pageants and blah, 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 blah. I don't need this shit. Well, the reality is you could be Miss Continental. You could be Miss US of A. You could be Miss the World, Universe, whatever. You still have to learn.
Yeah. And you're still learning.
And you still have to step up your game. And your life, and when you stop learning, your life is over.
That means you need to stop doing whatever you're doing and continue to focus on another career.
Yep. So how are you going to do your face tonight?
I don't know. I think I'm going to do like a regular natural glam look, but I'm going to try to do like I wanted to do like an over-exaggerated eye.
Uh-huh.
With all the white and the crease and bring the liner down and everything.
Okay.
But I'm too scared to try it.
What do you mean? Try what again?
The big full eye with the white and the white down here with the line comes lower.
You mean like Bianca Del Rio?
There you go. Yeah.
You can do that. I'll help you if you want.
I was gonna try it. I have this habit of trying new things because I like to expand. Try new things every once in a while.
You gotta try, yeah. You gotta grow. You never know. You try it, and then you might love it, you might hate it. You never know.
It's my first time actually doing my makeup this way first.
What do you mean?
Eyebrows first.
You don't do your eyebrows first? Are they glued down? Is that glue?
No, it's a pencil that I use from the hair store. They come in like 50 different colors, and I always get burgundy and black. And I always do my eyebrows last because I like to shape my face first, and then I put my eyebrows the way my face is set. So that if I do my eyebrows first, my face will be more narrow. If I do them last, it'll be more fuller, like fish. And I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with doing it. When a lot of new queens message me and they're like, how do I do? I'm like, honey, when you're first starting and you're new, every time you do your makeup, you need to do it differently.
Yeah, because you want to see what works for you and your face.
What if you do a skinny nose? What if you do a fat nose? What if you do a broken nose? What if you do like a button nose? What if you do, like, you might like something you haven't done.
Yep.
And when you do those looks, take lots of pictures.
Yep. And I think that's the main reason why I go live the majority of the time I do makeup. Because I never know how my face is going to turn out until the end of the video. And then one video I might like, I'll be like, oh my god, I look really pretty in this video, so let me keep
What did
this
I
one.
do?
Yeah, and half the time when I do my face, I never remember what I do. So I'm like, how did I get my face like that?
That's how in the microphone sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, I was so funny tonight. What the fuck did I say? Like, I need to remember that shit.
I don't remember half the stuff I said for the post event that I held at Village Pub.
Right.
And people were like, you were awesome. And I was like, really?
What did I say? What did I say?
I was still trying to figure it out.
Right. How funny. Well, entertainment is all about learning, growing, and expanding. So I think I applaud you for trying something new. Yeah. No, you're actually new.
I'm really new.
I have not had any new girls on my Get Made Up with Misty.
Makes me the first.
Yeah, you're the first youngin'. You've only been doing drag for 2 years.
Yep.
So you have a lot to learn.
I have a lot more to learn.
It's
a difference because I'm willing to learn more. Like, you know how some people get comfortable in their ways and they just stick with that one thing?
Mm-hmm. They're a one-hit wonder, a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I'm very, very more that person that'd be like, well, how did you do that with your eyes? I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Let me try that with me.
Yeah.
Like Noella Leon, the first time I worked with her at the Palace, I was like, oh my god, your eyes is everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what do you do? She's like, oh, just blend with black and put on the eye. And I was like, that's it?
Yeah. Noelle's my sister. I love her.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's it? She was like, yeah. I was like, really?
I haven't recorded with her yet, but she's on my to-do list. She's been with me at Trinity Palace for 11 years.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yep, she's the longest girl I've had. She's an original cast member.
Yes.
Most other girls have left. They quit because they leave town mostly. Like Becky moved to New York, Diamond moved to Boston, Latrice went on TV.
Yeah. Oh, Latrice was there?
Yeah, Latrice was on cast for like 7 years.
Oh, I didn't even know. See, I learned something.
You're a child. You're young, girl. You're young.
I learned something.
Latrice hasn't been at Trinity Palace for like 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Because she got on TV. And she took a month off for filming. And then she was there every Sunday until the reunion show. And that's when her career blew up. She's getting paid thousands of dollars. She's out of town every day. She's never here.
I see. I think everyone's asking me, like, would I ever go on RuPaul's Drag Race? I think the one thing that would probably prevent me from going on RuPaul's Drag Race is being compared to my mom.
Oh, Kennedy?
Yeah. I think that's the only thing that would prevent me from going. Because I don't want to be labeled. Although we have the same dance style, I'm more hip-hop.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, I'm more hip-hop. So it's like, if I go on, I don't want to be like, oh, that's Kennedy's daughter. Oh my gosh, she's there just like Kennedy. Like last night, I was walking through the crowd and the guy was like, oh my God, is that Kataleya Davenport? And I was like, it must be the contour. I was like, it must be the contour. Because the first show I didn't even dance that much.
Right. Now, I'm a firm believer in giving advice when it's asked.
Yeah.
I don't like to give advice or pointers if you don't ask. I learned the hard way many years ago, because I'm very maternal. I like to help everybody. But I learned a long time ago, if you tell a girl how to improve and she ain't ready to hear it,
mad, yeah.
they get very pissed. But since we're talking about you and your new and your growing, I was sitting last night with another cast member at Trinity Palace, and we were watching your show. And I was talking about how fishy and fluid and feminine you are on stage and how you naturally move so gracefully. Mm-hmm. And we were talking back and forth about how you've come so far so quickly. And the one thing that you can truly improve on, if you want to know.
I do.
I don't like to tell people this. I had no intention of telling you.
I love criticism.
When you're doing a dance number, from the second it starts to the second it's over, mm-hmm. you don't stop moving. And that's not a bad thing. It's just when you get more polished and more seasoned, you'll realize that with the beat or the flow of the music, it's okay to pause. It's okay to be dramatic. It's okay to be fluid. It's okay to be, now breathe, take it in, and boom, you know.
Okay.
Because like literally from start to finish, you were go, go, go. Like even on the slow parts and the breaks and the talk, you were like, whoosh. And it was good. It was entertaining. You took the audience on a journey. But if I were to tweak you just a little bit to mm-hmm. improve it's okay to be, you know, and I think the reason why I noticed it so much is because when I first started, I was very much the same way. I was uncomfortable standing still.
Me too. I think that's what it is. I think I'm very, very uncomfortable standing still.
And I was in the Gay Men's Chorus of Fort Lauderdale when I first started drag, and I remember one of the guys in the choir was like, God, Misty, just stay put. And he wasn't a drag queen, so I didn't take his advice seriously. I was like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Misty, can I give you a challenge? And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, pretend there's a spotlight, and it's this big, and you have to keep your face in that spotlight. And you can't leave that spotlight. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I could do that. And it took a long time because I thought you had to be on every square inch of that stage.
Yeah. And I think I learned that at Miss Florida. Because I felt like I had to work the whole stage. But the only light that was on stage was on me.
Uh-huh.
They didn't have the light on the dancers. And I thought they did. So it was like points where I was like, walking back towards them, and I'm like, damn, I have to stay close to them because they're not going to see them if I'm way up here. Mm-hmm. And I think I realized it like towards the end of the talent, and I was like, oh, well, time is over now.
Yeah. But it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to relax. It's okay to absorb your moment. But it's also okay to keep moving. So that's one thing that I would, if I were you, or if I were to give you a piece of advice, that would be one thing to play with. You know, think in your mind, like, what if I just stand still for a second? Well, keep going.
I think I'm going to do it tonight, though.
But
I'm going to challenge myself tonight to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like one of my main issues when it comes to performing. Mm-hmm. I'm so more of moving because I'm so scared to stay still.
Well, you could definitely see that in some girls, that exact emotion.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say any names. The second they start performing, like they're on stage for 1 second, mm-hmm. They go right on the stage, and then the song starts, bam, off the stage. They don't stay on the stage. They don't absorb their spotlight. They don't let the audience partake in their number. Now, one of the girls might be there tonight, but watch girls, and with that advice in mind, mm-hmm. watch girls tonight, or any show, and just watch them, and be like, ooh, she's uncomfortable. You could see their uncomfortableness, their insecurity. They get on stage, and they're so insecure, they run off the stage, because when you're not on the stage, people can't see you.
Right.
Especially at Village Pub, there's no spotlight to follow you. And if if they're in the audience, all up, and there's nothing wrong with going into the audience. I definitely think there's a time and a place for that, but it's not within your first 10 seconds of your song.
Yeah.
Especially not your first 2 seconds.
I think the first tip Kennedy gave me when I first started performing as a male first, she was like, whatever you do, engage the audience before you walk into the audience. And I was like, oh, and I had to figure, it took me almost 3 years to figure out what she meant by that. Yeah. And when I did my first pageant, that's when I figured it out. Because I was on stage for like 2 seconds, and I stood in one spot in the back of the stage, and the crowd was going stupid, and I didn't know what they were going stupid for.
Well, that's another thing pageants will teach you, is you don't get tipped.
No.
So you're not in the audience trying to get all their money.
That's true.
You know, and you don't want to look like a greedy, hungry, thirsty bitch that's only doing drag for money. There's nothing wrong with taking tips. Trust and believe, I will take every tip offered to me. Of any domination. But
and some.
But you don't want to look thirsty.
That's true.
Stand up there, do your number. And some girls are the opposite. They make you wait to tip them.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. But they're feeling themselves so much. And I think there's a fine line between them, yeah.
And feeling yourself. Yeah, I think so too, because I say if it's like a give up number or something, then yeah, you let her wait. Because you got a whole nother song coming out.
You got a minute on that stage.
You got a whole nother song coming out. But like when it's like a show, and yeah, I think it'll be like a. Cause I be hating to sit in one spot during a show, not a pageant, during a show, and have money in my hand and tip you, and then I turn like $10 into a $1 bill when you walk up and be like, hey.
Yep.
Cause I be getting so tired of standing there.
Well, I remember when Adele first came out. Everyone was like, Misty, please do Adele. Please do Adele. Please. And I hated doing Adele. Because what does Adele do?
Stand in one spot. And sometimes behind the microphone. And
she don't move. And that was tough. You know? Because
I think my first time actually doing a ballot, it was... Because I wasn't fishy at first. I had to adjust myself into becoming fishy, and I think it was like the most horrible thing, but everybody else was like, oh my god, you were beautiful. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I was hard as a brick standing up there on the stage trying to be fishy.
Well, sometimes it has nothing to do with how you look.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's how you feel. Like, you can be wearing a potato sack, but if the hottest girl at school, the biggest cheerleader that you've always thought was so popular and you wanted to be, or the coolest football player, whatever sexual identity you feel, gives you this potato sack, and she's like, I wore this every day at summer camp. And you're like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing, this is the newest rage. And you go out there in that potato sack and you work the fucking hell out of it because it comes from an inner power, an inner being, an inner spirit, an inner guidance. You're like, I'm owning this potato sack. And then you realize that bitch really just gave me a potato sack, but you work the fuck out of it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of entertainers now, from when I used to watch it back then, I think a lot of them now, they get these over exaggerated costuming so they don't have to do much.
Well, yes, there's a couple of entertainers that I definitely agree with you that their talent, and the same with trainees. Some girls, their talent is in their plastic surgeon. They don't have a lip sync ability. They don't have a performance ability, but they are sickening to look at. Ooh. And they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I just want to look at her because she's so beautiful. But wow, she really can't perform. And the same with over-the-top gadgets and costumes and wardrobe. Some of them you're like, wow, she's so amazing.
Yeah.
But there's something missing. So I think people rely on those strengths. Like they said in RuPaul's Drag Race, stop relying on that body.
Yeah, oh my god. And for people to return on RuPaul's Drag Race and get cut off the first day, not saying anything.
Oh, poor Coco. Poor Coco. And she's a sweetheart in real life.
She is a sweetheart. And I was like, you're very, 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 you look just like Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go back on there and do something other than Janet?
Yeah.
That's what you do in Las Vegas.
Adore's a live singer, she sang live. Alaska's a live singer, she sang live. Like, I understand her wanting to step out of and do something different. But I don't know. That was a risk.
It was a huge risk, and I think if she had a dead Janet, she would have still been on there.
Yeah, I think so too. She wouldn't have been at the bottom.
No, she wouldn't have, and because I've seen her do Janet at a gala that I ended up going to. I didn't even know she was going to be there. And when she walked out, I was like, yes, Janet Jackson just walked through the building. Yeah. And they was like, that's Coco Montrese. And I was like, really? Mm-hmm. Look just like that lady.
Yeah, she's a professional Janet impersonator.
And that's what I do Beyonce a lot. Mm-hmm. And I know I do a Beyonce a lot. And I think I told you that once. So I was like, I know I'm going to win with Beyonce, so why continue to do it? But it's like I had to figure it out. Like, people, they don't live for that anymore. They won't see me do more stuff. Like, you have those Beyonce fans who will be there, and they'll be like, yes! And they'll scream, but then you have those people like, girl, she's still doing Beyonce?
Well, Beyonce, I'm a Beyonce fan, but she took a spin.
She did.
Her new album, I don't like it.
It's very, very straightforward.
I don't know if it's straightforward. It's more artistic and controversial. Like I smoked a huge bowl and I don't know what. I'm just being out there.
Yeah, it's like she took her relationship and put it on national TV.
I don't know. I don't think I like it. It's a little too artsy pop for me.
Like, I'm the old school Beyonce fan. Like, I lived for Beyonce back then. Like,
yeah.
Yes, Beyonce. Yes,
like Single Girls.
Yes. From Singleless to Who Run the World to Bootylicious. Check Up On It. Mm-hmm. Like, those are the songs that I used to
Dangerously in Love.
Yes. It's like now she just take it and she's like taking what she think people want to hear.
I don't know. I'm not saying she lost a fan in me because I still like her.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. It's like she took too many mushrooms or something. I'm not kidding. Like I don't know.
Like, oh shit, Beyonce smokes now.
Yeah. She probably always smoked, but now it's gone to her head.
I think if she had just had one more album and it reminded everyone of the first Beyonce that first came out, I think that her fan base will go back up. Because now it's a lot of people be like, girl, Beyonce, ugh.
Yeah.
And they falling into Rihanna now because Rihanna is sticking to what she knows.
What she's good at.
Yeah, what she knows best.
She's not trying to expand her horizons.
At all. And I feel her because I know, like, the public world is, like, very, very... If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Mm-hmm. And she's sticking to what she knows. So, just like they say, if you don't know how, if you can't make something up or you can't do something, you stick to your controversy.
Well, I think same with clubs. Like, for example, the Manor.
Oh yeah.
When the Manor opened in Fort Lauderdale, they wanted to take everyone's business.
Oh God.
They tried to do a bear night. They tried to do a lesbian night. They tried to do all these nights. Every night of the week was a different night so that they could get all this business and take away from all these other businesses. But the problem was none of them worked. Bear night was at Bill's. Lesbian night was at New Moon. You know, like...
I remember the name of those places. And now they're totally named something different.
Yeah.
Like, someone was like, you go to Wolf? And I was like, what the hell is Wolf? Mm-hmm. And it was like, you know where they have the bears at and stuff like that? I was like, I've never been there before. And then when someone actually told me, oh, it used to be the old such and such, and I was like, oh, I've been there twice or once or twice before. And I was like, yeah, it's the same place. And I was like, oh, really?
It's the same building, but it's completely different owners.
Oh, okay.
Bill's Filling Station, the owners separated, got a divorce, and bye. They hit it. And a Saudi and Arabian company or guy came in and bought it.
He does look Saudi Arabia. I never noticed that.
Yeah. But my point is the man is successful as a dance club.
Yeah.
Stay a dance club. Stop trying to take your other people's businesses.
That's true.
And I think that's what Beyonce kind of did. She's like, well, I want to be, you know,
hip hop. I want to be R&B. I want to be
a stripper.
A stripper, alternative.
I'm like, girl.
She's trying to cross over. It's like
I don't get it. It's just too much for me.
Yeah, it is. I think that's what some entertainers thought when I first started performing. Because when I first started performing, all I did was Beyonce and Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like when I first started, people would do the songs that I was doing in my mix, so I would have to change my mix.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I didn't understand it. I was like, well, maybe she already had that mix made. But then when people started like telling me like, no, she knew you was going to do that, and she would have pulled it out.
That's stupid.
And me not knowing, it's like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll choose something else. I always have a backup plan. Then after a while, I was just like, you know what? I'm doing this. I don't care. You knew I was doing this, and you came out here with the same mix. So you set yourself up for this.
Right.
Like the reason why I won't do Turn Me Out at Village Pub anymore.
Because...
Or anywhere.
Because everybody does it.
Yeah, it's getting played out. And I didn't know when I first did it there. I didn't know. And all of a sudden, people were like, oh, God, you're doing this again.
Well, you know what's funny? There's a drag queen from Michigan that moved to town. She don't live here no more. But, and she don't live here no more. But she was backstage at Charney Palace and was sitting by me and Noelle. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. And we're like, what do you mean? What's wrong? I mean, the audience here loves drag, blah, 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 relax, it's all good. She's like, no. I just made this mix. And I'm like, oh, you make mixes? She goes, yeah. I was up all night making this mix and I don't really know it yet. And...
Which means she downloaded it off YouTube. And she was up all night trying to download it. Okay, gotcha.
It was the Hot Wendy Williams Miss US of A 1998 Turn Me Out Joella Puss remix. Bitch, turn me out. So Noelle and me and I've done that song. Noelle's done that song. We all went outside and did the choreography with her.
What?
We did the snaps. And she was wrecked, honey. She was wrecked.
I know she felt so wrong for lying.
So she come off stage and we're like, wow, Wendy Williams made that same, or we said, wow, Joella Pussy made that same mix for Miss Wendy Williams. To the T. Girl. And then she was trying to tell us she made her jewelry and we were all like.
I would have died laughing.
Oh, you made that? You were up all night making it too, right? Okay. Girl, I don't know why people gotta lie. You don't gotta lie to be friends.
Yeah, because there's some things that I could have made, but I let other people make before. Because I'm like really handy when it comes to arts and crafts.
Uh-huh.
And I be wanting to say so bad, like, yeah, I made it, but then I don't even want to take away from the person who made it. So I'd be like, no, I didn't make it.
Well, there's a difference between designing it and making it. Like, you could draw the sketch, but that bitch sewed it.
Wow.
And you can't be like, well, I made it because she made it.
That's true.
You just created it. Or vice versa. You made it, but they, I don't know, whatever. You gotta be, it's a fine line. Written and directed and created by so-and-so and so-and-so.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. These girls play.
They do. And I was like, because it was a mix that, I won't say their names, but it was, they still do it. It's, not the Turn Me Out mix, the Accept Me mix.
Oh, accept me for who I am.
Yeah. When I first, because Kataleya Davenport gave me that mix a long time ago. It was in like on a CD of songs that she used to dance to all the time.
Yep.
And she gave me the Turn Me Out mix, the drag version. She gave me another mix with Ring My Bell. I never did Ring My Bell, and I never did the
Turn Me Out
until I went to Village Pub. Because I was like, well, then I'm from West Palm Beach, so I might as well dance so they know who I am now. And Lord behold, After that, I started hearing it every week.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even got it in like a full week. And then I contacted Kenny. I was like, did you get this mixed to anybody else? She was like, somebody made that for me a long time ago. She was like, I don't know.
I think it's a Joella Pussy mix. But Jalitza Alizé from New Jersey gave it to Noelle. So I think it's been passed around.
I think so too.
It's like the Turn Me On mix. It's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, I want that. So everyone keeps getting it and passing it.
Yeah, because I asked her already how she got it. She was like, oh, it's on YouTube. I said, it's on YouTube. She's like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know it was on YouTube. And I showed up, went on YouTube, and it was sitting right there under Accept Me. And the first thing I said was, I got to find something new to do.
Yeah.
And then Kennedy was getting, like, upset. She was like, you need to find something else to do other than turn me out.
Why was she getting upset?
Because her whole thing with her children is she wants to be so diverse so that when we do expand and decide to do the pageants that she's doing now, she wants us to go with the knowledge of having, like, a different perception of what we're going to do for talent. So, like, if somebody's dancing for talent and she knows they're bucking out and dancing, we know they're bucking out and dancing for talent, at least you'll have a talent that has, like, a variety in it. So you won't get compared to the other person. Because I learned that US of A is a comparative pageant. And that's one of the pageants that I actually wanted to do.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you got to start finding new stuff to do there. You know, at first I didn't understand it until I actually saw the results when they were doing a comparative judging. And I was like, oh, that's why she said that.
Yeah, they make you stand there and everyone on the stage at the same time turn around. Everyone do a half turn, everyone do a half turn.
And I saw that when Tariq did Mr. US of A. And I thought it was just hilarious. I was like, they really let you stand there with everybody in front of them.
Well, sometimes when there's so many people with such good gowns and such good, you gotta look down and be like, oh well, you can see her zipper. You can't see her zipper.
Yeah.
You gotta get down the nitty bitty, but I don't think it's always, there ain't no need for all that usually.
Yeah, because it's either you see it or you don't see it. And a lot of people, they do it because they want their girlfriend to win. And I know my girlfriend gonna come this year with this gown, and she's gonna make sure it's right because it's comparative. But I think that if it was run like a regular pageant, I mean, I think the way that it's run now, people go back to it because of the way it's run now, and because of the standard of it. Yeah, because it's very fair. And it's like, yeah, they make us stand there. And they get them points in so that I could possibly win this year. Like, I think that's the reason why people continue to go back. But it's a lot of pageants where they just run a pageant, and at the end, you be like, well,
how the fuck did she win?
Yeah.
But in all fairness, even drag aside, I make it obvious. Yeah. You have to raise your hand, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And I've had people come up to me after the show, well, I don't know how she won because clearly she didn't win. I'm like, what are you talking about? And
I've had people come up to me too. It's like, didn't I win? I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging. I clap for everybody when I'm supporting. I don't clap for just one person.
I was like, no.
I was like, I clap for everybody. I was like, so if you didn't win, obviously you need to bring people here to scream for you or clap for you.
Right. And one girl will go around to every single customer during the other girls' performances.
I know.
And try to distract them from watching the other girl perform. And then she'd be like, vote for me, vote for me. When I'm there, please clap for me, please clap for me. And I'm like, bitch, go sit the fuck down.
You know, she did that, She did that while she was performing. A guy who didn't tip her tipped, and she was like, she walked over there loud, and she was like, "Oh, you didn't tip me? Where's my money?" I was like,
Lord God.
I was like, oh my God, really? We do that?
No, we don't do that. Yeah. There's a class level involved.
And when she did it, I could see the way the man looked like, bitch. And I wanted to go over there so bad and just say, like, you embarrassing yourself, sweetheart, and you're embarrassing the rest of the drag community. Can you please walk away? But sometimes, like outside of the bar, I don't associate. So it's like with the people who I do associate with out of the bar, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to be more of a friend than that.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of people I don't associate with out of the club either because I don't want negativity. Unfortunately, there are a lot of entertainers that are constantly negative. Like I said earlier, I'm very insecure. Most entertainers are insecure, and
they are.
Just because you're insecure doesn't mean you have to put down other people. And there's so much negativity, and I'm like, girl, you can call me fat, but that doesn't make you skinny. Like, shut up. I can't.
That's true.
And if you're not talking about me because I'm in your face, but you're talking about every other person you see, I know you're talking about me when I'm not in your face.
Yep. Which is the main reason why I pride myself on being very straightforward. Because people be like, sometimes straightforward is bad, but I kind of like that you're straightforward. And I was like, I know, I kind of like it too because...
Me?
No, like both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know you're straightforward because we've had conversations where we were very straightforward in situations. And it's like, I pride myself on being straightforward because if I'm not, then why would I sit here in front of your face and act all candid and then go home and read you behind your back? That's just not me. So
No,
it's like,
if I don't like you, you know I don't like you.
Exactly. It's like,
and you know how you know I don't like you? Because I don't talk to you. I don't talk about you. I just don't talk to you.
Exactly. And I think that's the reason why I have so many straight girls as friends on Facebook. Because they come in and they be like, oh my God, you be talking, you be reading and talking your mouth. It's like, it's the only way to really show people like, yeah, I'm straightforward. I'm not finna hide no bullshit from you. But at the same time, you gonna respect whatever decision I have or make or whatever I choose to do with my life. Yeah, but they became my friend because they just happened to run across one of their friends' page and see a live video, and they'll go on my page like, oh my God, your makeup is so beautiful, and I'll be like, thank you, and they'll go, oh my God, you're so straightforward, like, you're not scared to be straightforward. Well, why?
Yeah, what are you hiding from?
Why would I be scared to be straightforward? Like, I was like, I don't only talk politics when I come on here. I talk about real life stuff too, like how straight girls approach me about their boyfriends. Baby, I ain't sleep with your boyfriend. I don't even know who your boyfriend is. Talk to the girl who did speak to your boyfriend. And they always have this label like, oh, all of you are just like all of us.
All of us? Who?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All of us. How old are you?
I'm 29 now.
All of us 29-year-olds? All of us 5 foot or whatever people?
It's a
all
variety.
Of us what?
It's a whole variety of people. I'm like, you approach me about something that happened with another person and then you tell me about all of us. First off, all of us don't know all of us. So don't put me in the same category as all of us.
I was at the makeup store the other day, GBS on US 1, and I was getting something. And I said, oh, you have hairdressers in here now. She goes, yeah. His name's Eduardo. He's so good. I'm like, yeah, I know Eduardo, which I actually do. She goes, oh, you know him? I said, yeah, all gays know each other. She's like, oh, you do? I said, no, girl, I'm just fooling with you. But she believed me for a second. That little straight lady.
Yeah, because it's a hair store across the street from my house. And
so we all know each other, girl.
Yeah, and the guy, every time I walk in there, he never sees me in drag, but he always see me coming there getting lashes and bonding glue and stuff. And he's always like, so when am I going to see the pretty in drag? And his wife be sitting right there, and I'd be like, can you just rain me out so I can go?
I've had to go to the wig store and drag and get eyelashes before. The one right across the street from my house doesn't close till 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So I popped in there many times painted.
But the one that I actually did go to, that one when I actually did go in drag, he was like, oh, you're so beautiful. I want to fuck you. I'm like, huh?
And your wife is here?
And his wife was sitting right there, and she's giving me these eyes like I'm doing something wrong. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't say nothing to this man.
First of all, bitch, the reason your man treat you like that is because you let him treat you like that.
Right, I'm like, you saw me walk in this motherfucking store. You don't come up to me. You don't be looking at give me no side eyes.
Girl, you don't let your man talk like that. Then you don't let your man talk like that. Obviously, you don't give a fucking shit. Stop looking at me like you're all jealous.
Right, I'm like, girl, I just walked in here 2 minutes ago. Why are you even aside? And then I finally, like, it got to the point where I was just like, did I do something wrong? And she was like, oh, no. I was like, okay, because I'm just checking. Because you looking at me like you got a problem.
You got a problem, just ain't me.
Yeah, and it'd be so wrong when the husband say, oh, she's always like that. And you and you finna sit here and condone this just because she's always like this?
Wow.
I was like, I think y'all relationship, y'all really do need to be together.
What's something?
Because whatever she is doing or whatever you is doing, yeah, y'all need to stay together.
Something. Something.
Or something.
Something. This bar paper ain't working. I'm still washing up.
You are?
See, look.
That happens when I do, when I put clown white on my eyes too. On my face.
Yeah.
That's all, when, cop told me last night, she's like, oh, you like a Dorito.
Who said that? Who told you that?
Amanda Austin and, Carmen.
You could have been like, bitch, I'm not gonna come on trees. Get a new line.
I was like, are you serious? She was like, just like a Dorito. And I wanted to say so bad, like, well, you look like a washed out monkey with
You
that.
look like a sugar powdered donut.
And then I was like, well, I am new to this. I'm not going to disrespect anybody. So I just didn't say anything. I just kept doing makeup and interacting with people on my Facebook. And they were actually catching it. They were like, oh, she's reading? And I was like, oh, I guess. I don't know.
They're just being funny, girl. Because the shit I said to you on your live video, I was just fucking around.
No, they knew that because when I got home, they was like, no, the other one who came up first, they was like, she was fine. They was like, she wasn't really saying anything, but it was like the other two was giving you the business. I was like, yeah, they was doing what they was doing.
I have fun. You're friends with my husband on Facebook, so
yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, oh god, she's live again, acting like people want to see her do her makeup, and then he'll be the one to say it.
I know.
He goes, I'm gonna tell her that. I was like, okay, baby.
The funny thing was last night when he did that. This morning when I got to the house, and I was like, why are you even on here? Should you be asleep?
We go to bed very late.
Yeah, I do too. I normally don't sleep around that time, so that's why I stay up so late and watch TV until it's like time for George to get up and go to work, and then I'll probably get up then and be like, all right, George, I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah, we said very late.
For some reason, I don't know. My mom says always about this since I was little. I can never sleep at night.
Yep, I'm too. I've always been a vampire.
How do you feel about the drag queens who basically, like when upcoming girls like myself, when we try to apply for places where they work at, and they tell you this is not your year, you need to learn more, wait till the next year. Like when you do pageants, they be like, this is not time for you.
Well, that's truth. Pageant is truth. Like I've seen Erica Narell and Noah Leon and these other girls compete for like 50, 60 pageants and lose.
Ooh.
You have to lose like 100 times before you can start winning.
Yeah.
It's just something that's ingrained in you. And honestly, with pageantry, I think that if you did win your first time or your first couple times, it would be very negative for you. I think that if you did win, you would somehow think you're a golden child, or you have the golden ticket, or you're gifted, or you have something natural. And then you stop learning and you stop growing. If you get shot down a couple times for pageantry and you're like, oh, I need to come back harder, I need to come back stronger, that is something that you learn inside your soul, inside your being, and you actually do come back better and stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, like Amy DeMilo, she entered 7 years in a row before she won Miss Florida. Like, it's just something you have to do. And I mean, you're new, baby. Yeah. You're new. You've only been drag 2 years. You're not going to win Miss Florida your first year.
No, I didn't plan on winning Miss Florida, but I wanted to at least like go and be like, you know, I'm here. Look forward to me next year.
And that happened.
Yeah, it did. And
you want to leave a pageant with people talking about you.
Yeah, because I didn't have anything negative to say about the pageant, but the whole people was like, oh my God, that's wrong. You should have and I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with me.
The problem is a lot of people surround themselves with yes men. You have these fans, and your fans believe in you.
Right.
And your fans aren't going to give you the truest, honest critique.
That's true.
They're going to be like, oh my God, you were amazing. Bitch, your shoes were not even on your whole feet. Your feet were hanging off the back of your shoes. That's why you didn't win. Evening gown. Your tuck was showing in swimsuit category. That's why you didn't win. And your friends are telling you that you're amazing, you're the best, and you should have won, and you were robbed. Yep. And that's not good. And entertainers, and this is something to take to heart, as entertainers, we have to be our own worst critique. Like you talked about zooming in your pictures and be like, ooh, that evening gown was gorgeous, but I needed to change this, or this was wrong, or this needs to be fixed. You can't trust your friends to tell you, oh, bitch.
No, because they're going to automatically assume that you're supposed to win.
Right.
Because they are your friends.
And yes, you were the best you could be.
Yeah.
You were the best you, but that doesn't mean you were better than every other competitor in that night. And that's a hard thing to learn, but that's a good lesson. You have to learn and grow. And there's like a girl we were talking about today. You can't win every contest you enter. You can't win every pageant. But you know what? You can go home. There are losers, and there are people that learn.
And there are people who just don't want to learn.
Yes. Well, that's true, too. And if you never learn, you'll never win.
And never go anywhere. And I think that's the reason why I'm really big on learning new stuff and growing. I think that's just the real reason why I continue to do Drag Aside, because you never know what people like. People might not like certain things that they might see on me on stage, and I'll lose this week. And then people be like, oh, that was wrong, you're supposed to win. And I'll be like, no, actually I wasn't.
But it's also a great venue to try something out.
Yeah, because then it makes me come back the next week with something different, and I'll be like, oh, okay, they like this one.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't see it that way. They just see it as, oh, she got me together. Oh,
girl,
this is rigged.
It's not always fixed. And Drag Aside example. Obvious. If you stand there and fucking count everybody I'm counting and the managers count. Yes, the manager and I are usually one or two people apart because from where I'm standing, I might be able to see behind the pole and he can't, or he can see behind the bar that I can't see. And there's sometime, and if there's a big gap, one time I had like 12 and he had 22. I was like, oh, we need to do this again.
Yep.
Because you're seeing 10 people I'm not seeing, that's something wrong. Or vice versa. I know we're both very fair. We would never fix it for anybody. Even people we don't like. There's a person in the show that is a known thief, and she was caught on camera, and I think she should be banned from the show, and I don't like her. I don't like her at all.
Nobody does.
And
she interrupts everybody's shows.
Yeah, she's just not classy at all, and she's ghetto. That's a good word for it. I'm not saying she's black or white, but she's ghetto.
Very urban.
And she steals. And known steal, caught on video and confronted and still denied stealing until she showed the video, and then she went and got the shit. Anyways, I'm fair, and even when she wins, she wins.
Yeah.
And if I could fix it against her, I would, but I'm not that person, and I would never do that. But ooh, I don't like it when she wins.
I just think someone needs to like really just be like someone who she actually knows personally. Just need to go up to her one day and just be like, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop doing that. You're gonna have a lot of actions behind this. Because if you do this at any pageant or anything, you're gonna be banned from the pageant forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not gonna be able to, when you start getting booked places, they're gonna put you in a room by yourself. They're gonna isolate you from other people so that.
Girl, if you're a known thief, you ain't gonna get booked anywhere.
Well, that's true too.
She keeps coming up with me asking me if I could book her training class. No. Never. Because you might not steal from me, but you'll steal from somebody else.
Yep. And you always have that title. Because when I did South Florida Illusions Newcomer, my money for my dancers came missing out of my suitcase that I never opened. And when I got backstage after talent, the suitcase was wide open. Makeup was missing, like all my Anastasia Beverly, the new matte palettes I just got it from MAC, all that stuff was gone. And the first thing they said was, "Oh, we don't know who did it." So I was like, "Well, how about this?" I started wiping my makeup off, and this was right after talent. We was getting ready to go in the gown. And I wiped my makeup off, and I was like, well, I'm not competing. So whoever paid their money to see me compete, oh well, I'm packing my shit and I'm going home. And then all of a sudden, they was like, okay, just wait. You don't want you to go. We'll get to the bottom of this. We'll walk around with the bag. I said, who's going to sit here in front of everybody and tell you that they stole some makeup or some money?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way in hell that someone's going to sit here and tell you that they stole this in front of all these people. I was like, what you have to do is you have to, like, pull everyone to the side and do it. But just like, people, they don't listen. So they went ahead and was like, did you steal this? Did you steal this? They walking around with the whole bag out.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so wrong. And nobody's not going to tell them anything.
And did they ever find it?
No.
Of course. Because that money's already mixed into their wallet.
And you're like, how much? Well, I was like, well, my dancers, they charged me $100. I was like, but I was giving them $125, so it was like $250 in there. I was like, but if I decided not to give them the $125, at least I would have still had $50 left. I was like, but I had to end up giving them $60 a piece. And I felt so embarrassed. I was mad and embarrassed. And I was like...
And did you finish the pageant?
Velvet came backstage and she cursed me out and told me to get my ass in my gown. Her and Asheria put on my hairpiece, and Sasha Lords helped me get in my gown and change my lips and Velvet touched up my face, and I completed the pageant. But I was so hurt and I was about to cry. And literally, before crowning, I was actually crying backstage. So when I walked on stage, my makeup was so messed up that Velvet ended up putting clown white on my face, and it ended up being washed out on stage. You couldn't tell. Everybody was like, what happened to your makeup at crowning?
Right.
And I was like, because I was literally backstage. Just
you were betrayed.
Yeah, I was upset. I was done. Like, if I didn't win the pageant, I would have probably went home and, like, cried my heart out.
Oh, you did win?
Yeah. Give it up on the 19th of next month.
What pageant was it?
South Florida Illusions Newcomer.
There was a booking I had in South Beach, and there were 4 drag queens and a friend backstage. And I had $800 in my purse.
No.
And I shouldn't have had it, but I was getting money from here, and I was like, put it, and I counted all my ones, and for reason, I had it in a big rubber band inside my purse. And anyone that opened my purse would have seen it.
Yeah.
It was obvious. But I'm a fucking dumbass. I trusted everybody, and whatever.
So opening it and getting it in.
Well, I was sitting next to a girl, like this, right next to, and my purse was here, and I kept getting things out of my purse, lip gloss, powder, or whatever, because I usually do my makeup at home, but I touch it up there, so I was getting my lip gloss, and my purse was open, and you could see it. She definitely saw it. I don't think she stole it, but I'm sure she watched her friend steal it, because there was only one person in the show, or in the dressing room, that wasn't in the show.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, she's not a thief. She wouldn't do that.
And she probably...
But who's her friend?
Yeah, she probably watched them steal it, and she probably didn't say anything, which made her guilty by association.
And I lost her friendship because of it. I don't trust her at all. Because you chose your friend over me, and you witnessed and allowed, or you told them that was in there.
Yeah, because at the same time, what if it was your stuff? Would you still would allow them to do that? And... I don't understand it. Like, a lot of people who steal from other people, they don't get mad if you steal their stuff, but they don't get mad that they're stealing someone else's stuff. Like, how does that work?
I found it happened between we all had to do 2 shows, and it happened between the first and second. I came off the stage, and I'm like, my money's gone. Nobody saw nothing. And I was like, oh, I was so mad. I never booked her again. And it wasn't my show. I was in another show, but this girl and I were friends, and she and her friend were the only ones in dressing room while I was on stage.
So then they had to know. Like, there was nothing around it. They had to know.
I see no evil, hear no evil, repeat no evil. But you know what? You are guilty by association, and I have a really hard time even looking at her to this day. Girl, it's just messy. You steal from me, And I don't know.
I just can't believe people be so conniving to do it. Like, work for yours like we work for ours. That's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
you work hard, you get what's earned. If you don't work hard, you can't just take what's earned from somebody else.
Yeah. And for a minute, I was tagged racist.
What?
I think I was. Somebody told me I was. That everyone thought I was racist because after that incident, I watched my purse. Like, I mean, after that, I really didn't keep anything in my purse. I knew better. You burned me once.
But you still watched your purse.
Yeah, I'm conscious.
No.
And as a show director, I was conscious in protecting everyone involved in my show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't. Because some girls are naive and they'll leave their shit in their purse. I'm like, don't. Please don't. So, for a minute, I was tagged racist. But for years, I just told you this today.
Yeah.
I wished I was black. I wished. I think black people are so pretty. And for a while, I only dated black guys. And I'm attracted to them sometimes. But my husband's Latino, and I'm very happy with him, and I don't look at anybody now. But I got pulled over by a hot black guy today. We might have looked at him with fear and trepidation in my eyes.
But he had muscles.
Ooh, he was hot. But he was mad, though. I got yelled at by a cop today. Ooh, bitch. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and they haven't told me the time. So I was at a red light, texting the doctor, his assistant, saying, what time's my appointment tomorrow? And she replied, oh, the lady that's doing the blood work isn't going to be here tomorrow. You have to come on Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, what time? And she was saying, I don't know. I have to talk to her tonight or tomorrow to find out when she's going to be here on Wednesday, blah, blah. I'll let you know. I know you like afternoons. You don't wake up in the morning. I said, okay. I heard the siren. And I look up, at a red light still, look up. I don't see an ambulance coming this way. Don't see an ambulance coming this way. Don't see an ambulance coming this way. I look at my rearview mirror. Don't see an ambulance coming this way. I don't need to move, so I go back to my phone. That pissed him off, girl.
It had to.
When the light turned green and I went going, he pulled behind me. And I was like, oh, shit. So I pulled over, and he came up to my window, and he's like, you're a fucking idiot. And I was like, what? He goes, you're on your fucking phone. That's a $250 fucking ticket. Do you want to give $250 to the police department? And I'm like, no. And he was like, you're fucking retard. Blah, 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 blah. He was just yelling at me. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, I was beside you and you're on your fucking phone. You don't even have the nerve to look to side you to see where the siren's coming from. And I'm like, I did look up. I looked forward. I looked left. I looked right. And I didn't see anybody. There wasn't anybody behind me. I didn't think it'd be the car next to me. He goes, if you were on your phone, you would pay attention. And I was like, I'm sorry. He goes, put your phone down.
And by law, he is not allowed to do that.
Well, then he got in his car and left. I was like, oh my God. Thank you, God, I didn't get a ticket.
I'm so glad I wasn't in the car with you.
I was on my way to pick you up. But yeah.
Because that's common sense. If you look every way, you did not see a siren or a car or an ambulance or a police car, but you hear sirens, you don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. It can be from a distance.
Well, the key was I was at a fucking red light. I'm not allowed to text at a red light now?
I guess they got besides themselves now.
Well, he's obviously mad at somebody.
Maybe his wife cheated on him, pissed him off. Or
his kid got caught stealing or something. And he was oh shit, I don't want to do all that. He was mad about something and he took it out on me and I just let him because he didn't give me a ticket. I said, okay, Jesus, thank you, bye.
And he was cute.
He's cute. But I don't let cute guys talk to me like that. I will let a cop talk to me like that if he doesn't give me a ticket. But if he did give me a ticket, like you said, I would have had all that badge number information, bitch. And I've been like,
yeah, because, yeah, by law, no ma'am.
No. You talked to me like I was subhuman.
If you had asked for license registration and then said, why didn't you pull over out, or why didn't you...
I didn't even know I was being pulled over.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if he would have came to the car and told you, like, I was next to you, why didn't you do such stuff, why you didn't do this, you would have still had a you would have had this sense in your mind, like, okay, well, I didn't see you next to me, but I'm still sorry. It would still have been sorry, but it would have been more sensual versus scary. Like, come to my car yelling at me, I don't know who the hell you are. I was like, I do not know who you are, and you say he yelling at me?
Oh, he was very upset. He was very, very, very upset.
Yeah, somebody must have did something to him to piss him off.
Yeah.
Or somebody, he probably pulled out to find somebody or to get behind somebody, and he ended up not seeing them after he pulled out. And it led to all that extra stuff.
Well, I was molested as a kid.
So was I.
Like 3 years old to 2 years old to 13.
About it, but
That's okay.
But I have too. Like it was by my uncle though.
Well, that's why I just don't talk about it. But I remember going to mental health therapy as a child, ordered by the courts, and I remember them telling me play with a doll or whatever, and I would sit sometimes and wait for my therapist, and I would see other people, other children. There was a big room where all the kids could play while we're waiting for our private sessions with the counselor, because they wanted to see how children interacted with each other. And I remember there was this girl, and she had like a Barbie doll, but it was more like a Raggedy Ann, and she took the doll and she was beating it into the table, like, you stupid little bitch, and she was just yelling at the doll. And I remember looking at her like, what the fuck is her problem? And I remember I went into the room with my therapist, and I said, what is that girl's problem? Oh my God, that girl is very upset. And I said, why is she doing that? And I remember the therapist told me, he goes, sometimes when mommies and daddies do things to children, they do them to their toys. And I said, oh, her mommy's mean. I didn't even know this girl. I said, oh, her mommy must be mean. So just from a very early age, I knew that sometimes people project. And so maybe this officer was very mad about something and projected it onto me, and I took it. I said, let's bless it and release it. You did not give me a ticket. And I do have a traffic ticket that I still need to pay. Not for speeding, but for running a red light. Those stupid fucking cameras. So I'm sure that's on my license right now, and you did not pull me over or cause me any harm, and I will say thank you very much. Yell at me all you want. By the way, you're still cute.
Yeah, by all means, officer. But you're sexy as hell. Can I say that? No homo.
I would never say that, girl, because I'm a woman.
No, when police pull me over, I be want to say so bad, like, you sexy as hell, no homo, but go ahead and say what you're about to say, police.
Oh, some cops though, what?
Yes. I can't believe I used to work with them. Ugh.
I dated so many cops for a while. Somebody was calling me a bunny. No, they're called not gym bunnies. What are they called? Cop bunnies? Or like, oh, I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't prefer cops. I like them. But I don't prefer them.
I know a lot of girls who don't like to date cops.
Well, there's a lot of cops that have a God complex.
That's true.
And it can't be bothered with that. There's nothing wrong with the nurse mentality where you're there to help the world or save the world or heal the world. But when you are a police officer and
you just think you are God.
And everyone, no.
Yep. There was a lot of them.
So you worked in the police station?
Yeah, in dispatch. Dispatch for 2 years.
What does that do?
When people get stopped by the police, we basically are the person behind the phone who's running your checks and your license plate and well, I said that twice. Your license plate, your driver license, and your insurance to make sure it's valid for the police officer. And when they're giving you a ticket, we're the ones who issue the citation number.
Oh.
So basically, when they say they're booking you, they're really just running your information, and when they get back to the police station, that's when they actually book you in the system.
Huh. Interesting. So, my question is, if they pull you over, run your license and everything, can they still give you a warning?
Only if your license is not suspended. If they pull you over. Now, if they pull you over and you knew your license was suspended, they can take you to jail because you knew. But if they pull you over and you didn't know at all, and they can tell you didn't know, because some people they'll act like they didn't know, but they really did, and the police can tell they're lying. But if you really didn't know, they'll give you a warning. It's more like it'll be more like a nice confrontation, like you can't drive the car while I'm here. They'll give you like a hint, like
take an Uber, Rich.
No, they'll give you a hint like,
oh, you can drive when I'm.
You can drive when I'm gone, but you can't drive while I'm here. Like they're gonna give you a warning, give you a court date for you to go to court and fix this.
Right.
But just to let you know, when I leave, they be like, when I leave, I'm not allowed to let you drive while I'm here.
Yeah.
So once I leave, you are free to do whatever you want, but I can't tell you that. And it'd be a hint, like if someone don't get it, it'd be like really, really dumb to not get because it'd be like so obvious.
And you hear all this on the phone.
We hear this on the phone, and we understand. The first thing we do is when we hear it, we go, "You can let them go."
Yeah.
Let them go. But we can't do anything. We can't report it because it's part of dispatch. The only thing we are doing is we're there for citizenship. We're not there for like the hard cases like gunfire and stuff. Like when people dial 911, they don't call us.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different dispatches. They call the emergency dispatch and they call the regular dispatch.
Yeah.
And when people call for like gunshots and stuff like that, they call 911. They call the emergency. When people call for like tickets and stuff, they call us, which is upstairs. So it's like two different sects of dispatch in the police department.
Huh. Well, no, the reason I ask is because a police officer once... Okay, I used to work in Fort Myers. I used to work there for 4 years, every Sunday. And I would drive across Alligator Alley. I would have 2 drinks. Because if I drank too much, I wasn't able to drive home without falling asleep. So then I would have a Red Bull at the gas station, pump my gas, and then come across the alley. And one time, I must have been daydreaming or something, because I skipped my exit for $5.95. So now I'm going towards Miami Weston.
Right.
So I take the first exit off 75, and there's a big sign that says no U-turn, and it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. No lights anywhere.
Jeez.
No cars on this road, and it's like on the outskirts of Weston, so it's not even a town yet.
Yeah.
Bitch, I did a U-turn. And woo, 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 these lights come on, which, by the way, I now know that if you don't have your running lights on, you can't pull somebody over. I didn't know that then.
Yeah, you can't.
But there was no cars. So, no running lights, nothing. Pulls me over, and he's like, ma'am. I was still in drag. He's hitting on me.
Yes.
He asked for my phone number. I gave him my card. He's like, oh, I can't keep this because my wife will see it.
Oh, and he was married.
Yeah. He runs my driver's license, everything, so knew clearly that I was a man. He's like, you are really pretty. Can I get your phone number, though? And I'm like, here's my card. And he's like, I can't have this card because if it's found, I will get in big trouble.
So his wife must go through his wallet and stuff. She must be very insecure.
Well, she has a reason to.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, he gave me a ticket for a U-turn. And he's like, you're so pretty, I would let you go, but I already called it in. And I was like...
But he couldn't have stopped you if the lights were not on.
Yeah, I know that now.
Even if the lights were on, he couldn't stop you if he was off duty.
Well, I think he was. Well, he probably was on duty.
Because if his lights weren't on and he stopped you, that means he was off duty. And if he was off duty, he still couldn't have stopped you and gave you a ticket. And they couldn't.
Well, he was sitting there by the light waiting for it. He knew somebody was going to do a U-turn.
Oh, okay. So he probably was on duty. But if his lights weren't on, he's not supposed to pull you over.
Yeah, like he was like, I'm not even in a car running. He was waiting for that bitch.
He just wanted that one for that night, and then.
Well, my friend was like, it must have been the end of the month.
It must have been because holidays and the end of the month and like
Major day.
Yeah, oh baby.
But I was so mad. I was like, don't you dare fucking call me. I was single, of course. It was many years ago, but.
Yeah. They
do
pull,
not.
when it comes to like those days and stuff, they pull you over for anything.
All right, so which eyelashes do you want?
I'll take the
1, 2, 3.
2. We're gonna go with 2s today.
These are 301s.
We're gonna go with 301s.
Regular 301s.
I normally wear 101s mixed with 199s.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so thick. Oh my god. I've watched and I've seen.
All right, so we're going to do an Ask Misty. Go ahead and read through and pick a question without an R. And we will answer it together. Okay. I forgot to tidy it up. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez and
Kataleya Davenport Dupree.
Girl, you come with your last name. All right. These girls with their names. All right, we have an Ask Misty for you. How do I go about treating a drag queen that I looked up to that has been talking shit behind a computer? But when I see her in person, she's all smiles and kisses. All right, Kataleya Davenport Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
You picked this question. Go ahead.
Yes, I did. In the drag the female impersonation world, there are a lot of drag queens who basically, like, when they see you in person or they see you at a booking somewhere, they're like, oh girl, you did sick me, how are you, oh my god, you're so beautiful. Then you get behind closed doors and it's a thing like, girl, your performance was tired, you need to stop doing that, you need to stop doing this, girl, you need to put on more makeup, this is not right, I'm not reading, I'm just being real. And when you could have, a lot of people like to take constructive criticism. Some people don't, but a lot of people do. Why couldn't you just say that to my face when you were in front of me? So it's like, how would you deal with someone who's like that?
Yeah, how do you deal?
Me, personally, I kill them with kindness. Like, I'm very straightforward, so it's like when someone does that in front of me, I immediately go, okay, cut the bullshit. Now I know this. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, when I'm like at a pageant somewhere or a fundraiser, I'll, smile and be like, thank you so much. And then I'll text her and be like, now, that was some bullshit, right? But I think finding out other ways of how to deal with them will be really, really helpful. Because there's a lot of people like that.
So you want to ask the question instead of answer it?
Well, I answered it.
Oh, I mean, you're like, you want to find your way too.
Yeah, I want to answer it and find my way also to it because it's because I'm newer, so it's like trying to deal with it as well as answering it. I can answer it on how I deal with it, but there's certain places and certain ways that you have to handle things, and I don't want to be in the wrong place and just be like, "Girl, can you get the hell out of my face?" She'd be like, "Weren't you trying to just run for my pageant 2 weeks from now?"
Right. Well, that's actually a really good question. I learned a long time ago. Hold on. I learned a long time ago. You have to be careful how you treat other people. You never know who's going to be on your judge panel.
That's true.
And you could be nasty, 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 and then the next week, that bitch is judging you at Miss Whatever, and she don't like you now. So, but this kind of goes along with what we were talking about today a little bit, about people being nasty and shady and mean. How do I go about treating a drag queen that I looked up to that has been talking shit about me behind a computer? But when I see her in person, she's all kisses and smiles. All right, so this is going to happen. This is going to happen every day of your life. This is going to happen every booking that you go to. This is going to happen every club that you go to. The way you deal with it is you grow a backbone and you realize that that bitch's opinion does not matter. Is she paying your bills? No. Does her words hurt you? Yes, but they don't pay your bills, and her true opinion does not matter. I did an Ask Misty a long time ago where I was talking about a situation where me and my brother were dressed up in sister drag, which is kind of like clowns. Oh, I did a video with Sister Indica, so you know what sister drag looks like. As it's a non-profit organization as nuns, and we had clown makeup on. And my brother and I went into Burger King in the middle of the day after a fundraiser, and we were getting some food, and there was a homeless man who's clearly homeless and had no teeth and was sitting there full of piss and just, you could tell he was homeless, and it was just really, really nasty and bad. Well, I didn't see him right away, but I walked in, my brother walked in, and it was one of those situations where he felt insecure and out of place, so he thought that if he made fun of us, everyone would look at him and be like, ha ha ha, you're right, or whatever, I don't know. But he decided to make fun of us. And he started calling me fat and my brother stupid and like we're ugly clowns and whatever. And he was being very vocal and very aggressive. And I turned around and looked at him and I was like, are you kidding me? You're homeless. Like, your words don't matter to me. You can call me fat, but you're still homeless.
Exactly.
And then that like just sunk in. I was like, whoa. He was really mean to me. And he has said things to me that other people have said and really hurt. But I didn't care when he said them because I didn't care his opinion. And that's what you got to do. You got to realize that these people's words don't matter. Yeah, she's talking shit online because she's hoping that as many people as possible can read it. But the reality is she's afraid of you and doesn't want to be shady and cunty to your face. So you have to realize that once somebody has shown you their true colors, believe them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I have looked up to a lot of female impersonators, and they have done the same thing to me. And being that I'm a very, very quiet person when it comes to basically snapping back at people unless it really, really offends me, I deal with it in a totally different way. Like, I'll make sure they see me at every show that they're performing at, so they have to deal with me. I'll make sure I'm smiling. I'm very polite to them. But when they get in their snotty ways and they're like, "Oh, girl," behind closed doors on social media, you see the big ass paragraph post says, "Oh, she thought she was a shit tonight," and then you come in and you put a smiley face with a little kiss mark, and then you see her in person, and you be like, "I love your status, but baby, don't talk about me behind my back." I understand that we both grown, act like an adult. Because in this world, we need to start sticking together and we need to start being united versus arguing over some lashes or fucking highlight powder that somebody is wearing that's too dark or too light or contouring. If you have a problem with it so bad, why you won't just help?
You calling me fat doesn't make you skinny.
Exactly.
You calling me ugly doesn't make you beautiful.
Right.
You pointing out my flaws does not make you perfect. You telling people that I'm going to hell doesn't mean you're going to heaven.
Exactly.
You can talk about me all day long, but your words don't affect me. And it still makes you an evil, ugly person. And the more you talk shit about people, the more people are going to look at you and think, wow, she's really ugly.
And the words you choose dictate the person you are.
So you need to be careful. But the reality is, how do I go about treating a person? What I said earlier in today's video, if you don't like them, you don't need to tell everybody in the world you don't like them. Just don't like them. There's a lot of people I don't like.
Yeah.
But you don't know who I don't like
because
it's none of their business. You can like anybody you want that I don't like, unless it's a situation where you might be dating them or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, you should probably know. Maybe look out for this. I'm not telling you not to date them. I'm just telling you this was my experience. And beware. Once somebody shows you their true colors, believe them. You know they're a shady fucking cunt. Stay away. Don't talk to them. Don't say hello. Now, there's some situations. There's another coworker that I used to be very close with, and I do not like her now. And she's a nasty, shady cunt.
Yes.
And
Very.
when I see her, because we worked together for a long time, and I would see her in passing, and I'd be like, hey, girl, that's it. I don't need to know how your day was. I don't need to know what movie you saw this week. I don't need to know who you're dating. I don't need to know if you're happy or sad. Hello. That's it. We're done. I don't have to like you. And nobody in the room, when she walks in and I'm on the microphone, I don't tell the world I don't like her. Ooh, look who walked in. It's none of their business.
That's how everything gets spread and stuff get mixed up and turned a whole different way. And
ain't nobody got to know that shit. It's my business.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have anything else to say?
No.
So my advice is let them be evil and ugly. You're better than that. Don't let it affect you. They're the ones that have trouble sleeping at night.
It's true.
Bless it and release it. And that was Misty Eyez and
Kataleya.
Loving You Is Easy. Oh, we're not done. Actually, I think we are done. Are we done? Okay. All right, guys, that was so much fun. Thank you for watching. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the question at the end.
You like to ask Misty?
I like to ask Misty question because it touched a lot on the simple fact of where I come in at as a new girl, dealing with a girl I looked up to for a long time. So
yeah, it's a very beautiful and yet a very ugly business we work in.
yes.
It's good. But I know all my fans are going to want to stalk you. So how can we do this? Are you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube? What's up?
On Facebook, I'm Kataleya Davenport Dupree Edwards.
Eyez, Lords, Austin. Yeah.
On Instagram, I'm Beat by Bobby. On YouTube, I'm Kataleya Davenport. And I have also another page on YouTube called Bobby Johnson /NSYNC. INCYNC.
You're in NSYNC now?
My dance organization.
Oh, okay. Hey, girl. She's a professional woman and a boy dancer. All right, so yeah, be sure to check her out. She is fucking sickening. She's a very, very new girl. One of the newest girls I've ever had on my channel. She's only been doing drag for about 2 years. But as she gladly tells you, she's very humble.
Very humble and approachable individual.
It's true, she is. A very sweet girl. And unlike a lot of new girls, she's ready, willing, and able to learn and grow. She's grown very quickly and has a very bright future, if you ask me. So follow this one. You'll be quite shocked of where she goes. The world is her oyster.
And I'm ready.
Yeah, and I'm not officially one of her mothers, but I'm definitely a big sister and auntie to help. In fact, you'll see in the video, or you just saw, I'm not shy in giving
She'll
advice.
be my mother soon.
But anyways, thanks for watching, and stalk this bitch. Loving you, Zizi.
Love you guys.
Welcome to Mo's. We just got done recording a Get Made Up with Misty, featuring Kataleya
Dupree.
Hello, love. It is Drag Aside Mondays, and tonight we have 7 amazing contestants who should win $150 cash. Hello, love. I was so nervous. I was projectile vomiting before the show. Congratulations to Kataleya Davenport. She just won $150 cash. Work for